Just a second, we're going live. They can start now.
सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः। अद्यतनस्य संस्कृतवाणी कार्यक्रमस्य हार्दिक स्वागतम्। अद्यतनं मातंगी महोदय संचालकरूपेण अस्ति। She is a practicing teacher by profession. She has cleared her SEP and she is rendering her teaching service to specially needs children. She is also passed the Govinda examination in Samskritam, ardent language learner. She is involved in many spiritual groups or podcast on Mahapariva, Kanchi Mahapariva is very popular. I invite Mathangi Mahoday to take from here.
Shubha Sayam Sarvesham, Dhanyavadaha Visaliji. Adyathanasya Samskritavani Karyakramasya Krute Sarvesham Swagatam Karomi. Bhakti Ishvara Bhaktihi Cha Asmakam Tat Jivanam Yapayitum Sahayam Karoti. Ishvaram Prati Prarthana Asmakam Manasi Shantim Dadati. श्रीमती हेमलता जी प्रार्थना गीत कर देंगे। श्रीमती N.K. Hemalatha Iyer is from Nurani and had trained Carnatic music under her guru, late Shri A.R. Aiyer. She has rendered many vocal performances in AIR for 10 years, bagged many prizes in music competitions, and had participated in Margari festivals. Swagatam Hemalata ji.
Namaste. My humble pronouns to all the group members here. So today I feel very pleasure to be here before you. Thank you for the opportunity given me to participate in today's program. That is Samskritavani group. And today I'm going to present Swati Tirunal Kirtanam, set to Raga, Pushpatilaka and Rupakatalam. The composition is Bhavaye Gopabalam. Bhavaye Gopabalam Bhuvana Trayabalam 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 Bhavaye Dava Jaladhara Nidnam Nigidi Modi Ganakadlo Nava Jaladhara Nidnam Nigidi Modi Ganakadlo Nava Jaladhara Nidnam दीदिनो दिगन कारो नवजलधर दीदो दीदिनो दिगन कालो पवनधर चीयो पवनधर चीलो तमनो भमलो पवनधर चीलो पद्मनाभ भमनो पवनधर चीलो पद्मनाभ भमनो भव के गोपबालो भुवनत्रय वनो भव के कालियग भणरंगम कंसदलनाशनम कालियग भणरंगम कंसदलनाशनम कलिंदी दिव्यपुलिन कृतरस प्रमुदितम् कालियग भटरंगम कंसदलनाशनम कलिंदी दिव्यपुलिन कृतरस प्रमुदितम् सुललितमणि हागागान सुललितमणि हागागान शोको विचारुगन्धरो सुललितमणि हार शोको विचारुगन्धरो वालसुदल मुखसूर वन्द्यग पाद सागरो चौ वालसुदल मुखसूर वन्द्यग पाद सागरो भवगी गोपबालो भुवनत्रय वरो भवगी भवगी भवगी
Sundaram Gayanam Hemalata ji, what a wonderful start. As I always say, whenever you sing, we feel like no, we want to hear it more and more. It was so pleasant and soothing. Dhanyavadaha Hemalata ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Subhashitam ityartah sad vachanam uktam. Subhashitam iti vaktum Sharada ji swagatam karomi. Srimati Sharadambal serves as Karyakatra at Samskrita Bharati, T Nagar, taking Balagirvani and Balakendram classes, also teaching Shlokas. Swagatam Sharada ji. Mute Lucky.
सर्वेभ्यो नमस्कारः. Good evening to everyone. वाग्देव्यै च विद्महे विरिञ्चि पत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो वाणी प्रचोदयात्. अहं शारदाम्बाळ्. अद्य अहम् एकं सुभाषितं वदामि. हस्तस्य भूषणं दानं, सत्यं कण्ठस्य भूषणं, स्तोत्रस्य भूषणं शास्त्रं, भूषणैः किं प्रयोजनम्? हस्तस्य भूषणं दानं, सत्यं खण्डस्य भूषणं, स्तोत्रस्य भूषणं शास्त्रं, भूषणैः किं प्रयोजनम्? कवि पृच्छति, हस्तस्य भूषणं किम्? साधारणतः वयं वदामः हस्तस्य भूषणं कङ्कणम् अथवा अङ्गुलीयकम्
ഇങ്ങനെയല്ല ആള് വരും ഓരോരുത്തർക്ക് ഒരു ടോപ്പിക്
परन्तु कवि वदति हस्तस्य भूषणं दानं दानमे प्रदानं हस्तस्य शोभा दानं कारणेन भवति इति कवि वदति तदनन्तरं कण्ठस्य भूषणं किं कण्ठस्य भूषणं हारं स्वर्णहारं नवरत्नहारं मुक्तावली इत्यादि न कण्ठस्य भूषणं सत्यम् एव सत्यमेव जयते कण्ठस्य शोभा सत्य भाषणेन भवति तदनन्तरं कर्णस्य भूषणं किं कर्णस्य भूषणं कुण्डलं मकरकुण्डलं स्वर्णकुण्डलं न कण्ठस्य भूषणं शास्त्रमेव श्रवणं भवति कण्ठस्य शोभा शास्त्राणां श्रवणेन भवति अतः स्वर्णादि अलङ्कारैः किं प्रयोजनम् इति कवि पृच्छति இதுல இருந்து இந்த சுபாஷிதத்துல நம்ம என்ன தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறோம்னா கைகளை அலங்கரிப்பது தங்க வளையல்களோ மோதிரங்களோ ஆபரணங்களோ அல்ல கைகளுக்கு அழகு தானம் தானமே பிரதானம் தானம்னதும் நமக்கு ஞாபகம் வருது கர்ணன் மகாபாரதத்துல வர ஒரு முக்கியமான கதாபாத்திரம் கர்ணன் வலது கை கொடுப்பது இடது கை தெரியாத அளவுக்கு தானம் செய்யும் குணமுடையவர் தானம் என்பது ஈகையை பற்றி திருவள்ளுவர் கூட சொல்லியிருக்கிறார் தானம் என்பது இருப்பவர்க்கு கொடுப்பதல்ல இல்லாதவர்க்கு கொடுப்பதுதான் தானம் இடமறிந்து காலம் அறிந்து கொடுப்பதுதான் எதிர்பார்ப்பு இல்லாமல் கொடுப்பதுதான் ஈகை வரியார்க்கு கொடுப்பதுதான் ஈகை ஈகை தானம் என்றால் கண் தானம் உறுப்பு தானம் எல்லாவற்றிலும் சிறந்த தானம் அன்னதானம் பசியுடையாருக்கு உணவளிப்பது சிறந்த தானம் அடுத்தது காதுகளுக்கு அடுத்தது கழுத்திற்கு ஆபரணம் எது கழுத்திற்கு ஆபரணம் சாதாரணமாக நம் முத்து மாலை தங்க மாலை வைர மாலை என்று சொல்லுவோம் ஆனால் கவி என்ன கூறுகிறார் என்றால் நமது கழுத்திற்கு ஆபரணமாக அமைவது சத்தியம் பேசுவது சத்தியமேவ ஜெயத்தே சத்தியம் என்றதும் நமக்கு ஞாபகம் வருவது காடு வரை சென்று சத்தியம் பேசுவதற்காக நின்றவர் ஹரிச்சந்திர மகாபிரபு எனவே சத்தியம் பேசுவது நமக்கு நண்பர்களையும் உறவுகளையும் பலப்படுத்தும் அடுத்தது காதுகளுக்கு இனிய ஆபரணம் குண்டலங்களோ ஜிமிக்கி தங்க ஆபரணங்களோ அல்ல காதுகளுக்கு இனிமை சேர்ப்பது நல்ல வார்த்தைகளையும் நல்ல இலக்கிய சொற்பொழிவுகளையும் கேட்பதே செவிச்சுவை தனிச்சுவை செவிக்கு உணவில்லாத பொழுது சிறிது வயிற்றுக்கும் ஈயப்படும் என்று நமது வள்ளுவர் கூட கூறுகிறார் எனவே செவிக்கு உணவு செவியை அலங்கரிப்பது இனிமையான வார்த்தைகளும் நல்ல சொற்பொழிவுகளுமே எனவே இந்த மற்ற ஆபரணங்களால் என்ன பிரயோஜனம் என்று தெரிகிறது ஒரு பிரயோஜனமும் இல்லை சத்தியம் தானம் நல் சொற்பொழிவுகளை கேட்பது இவைதான் முக்கியமான ஆபரணங்கள் so what we come to the conclusion is giving is the ornament that adorns our hands and speaking truth is the embellishment to our throat or voice box and good speeches hearing treatise of our literature is the enhancement to our ears then what is the use of other materialistic ornaments for our hands or neck or ears nothing so We don't need other ornaments to glorify us. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Good evening. Dhanyavadaha.
A valuable lesson you had taught today. Dhanyavadaha Sharda ji. Thank you so much. कुमारी सुदर्शना संबोधन प्रस्तुत करेंगे. Sudarshana is a Sanskrit teacher in Chinmaya Vidyalaya, had completed Samskrita Bharati exams and Chittur Visakshana exams, taking online Sanskrit classes and Shloka classes, passionate Carnatic singer. Swagatam, Sudarshana.
Sudarshana, are you there? She has joined.
धन्यवादाः माता. माता शृणोति वा?
Yes, Sudarshana, you can start.
सर्वेभ्यः मम सुस्वागतम्. संस्कृतम् इति सागरे संस्कृतवाणी इति जीवनकार्यं कर्तुं सञ्चालिका रूपेण अद्य श्रीमती मातंगी सुरेश माता अस्ति. भवत्यै मम सुस्वागतम्. श्रीमती हेमलता अय्यर माता प्रार्थना उक्तवती. भवत्यै मम सुस्वागतम्. सुभाषितं सम्यक् उक्तवती श्रीमती शारदाम्बाल माता. भवत्यै अपि मम सुस्वागतम्. भगवद्गीतायाः विषयाः वक्तुं सुश्रुता जी अस्ति. मम सुस्वागतं तस्मै अपि. इदानीं श्लोकाः वक्तुं गोविन्दाष्टकं वक्तुं कुमारी लैशा कुमारी तैशा च सन्ति. तस्यै अपि मम सुस्वागतानि. अद्य अस्माकं मुख्य अतिथिः श्रीमती गीता विनोदा माता. नुतिरत्नं नारायणीयम् इति विषयं वक्तुम् अत्र अस्ति. भवत्याः मम सुस्वागतम्. धन्यवादाः वक्तुं कुमारी युरेनुका अस्ति. मम प्रियसखी मम सुस्वागतम्. धन्यवादाः माता.
भवता स्वागत संबोधनम् एतावत् सुन्दरं प्रस्तुतम् आसीत्. धन्यवादः सुदर्शना. भगवद्गीता वदति जीवनं सत्यं, जीवनस्य मूल्यानि उपदिशेति. Dr. Sushrutha is an assistant professor at Amrita University, Coimbatore. He has done his PhD in Yoga and Yajna, studied Vedantam from traditional Gurukulam system from the age of 10 years. Swagatam, Dr. Sushrutha ji.
Sivakumar ji, you can play the video. Sivakumar ji, are you there?
சரிங்க என்ன பண்ண ஹலோ ஹலோ
ஹலோ சுந்தரகிருஷ்ணன் ஜி.
சொல்லுங்க.
அவர் சுஷ்ருதா ஜி இன்னைக்கு மீட்டிங்ல இருக்குன்னு அனுப்பி இருக்கு.
ஓகே ஓகே ஷேர் பண்றேன்.
ஓகே.
It has come, I think.
சிவகுமார்ஜி நீங்க ஸ்டாப் பண்ணுங்க, நான் ஷேர் பண்றேன். யூ ஹேவ் டு ஷேர் இட் along with the sound. சிவகுமார்ஜி ஸ்டாப் ஷேரிங்.
Shivakumar ji, please stop sharing because voice is not coming. Hello.
சரி நான் ஃபோன் பண்ணிருக்கேன். சிவகுமார்ஜி இன்னும் ஸ்டாப் ஷேரிங் பண்ணல நீங்க. Oh, I did it. Then, just a second, I am getting it. I have done it.
भारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमः सर्वेभ्यः पुनः स्वागतम्। This is the series of lessons from Bhagavad Gita that we are looking into to learn something for our day-to-day practical life. And any Shastra, for that matter, has its very presence and very existence only to refine and to upgrade the human life as such. Anything that does not suit the human communication, human relation, then it is no more remains as Shastra. So here Bhagavad Gita as Shastra of Yoga, looked up by thousands and matured minds to seek solutions for problems that they are facing at their own levels. Evidently, we see Arjuna looking at Krishna with the question in his eyes, starts asking question after question, and Krishna Bhagavan tries to handle him in a possible manner. We are in the second chapter looking at the definitions of yoga. Yoga karmasa kaushalam, samatvam yoga uchyate. Then little more further we are
The audio is not coming.
the following question. He is perplexed about why Krishna is trying to bring in the topic which I have never asked, and trying to explain what is Atma and what is Karma and who is an Atma Jnani and rest of it. Immediately Arjuna gets a question, says, Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitadhihi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. He is curious to know how would be the behavior of the one who is realized, one who has visualized and experienced the true existence of that Atma. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. You have told the prajna, the intellect will be as stable as it can be by the intervention of yoga. In fact, it is not intervention, but it has to be, and it ought to be the flow of life of a yogi or a jnani. In fact, there is no difference between yogi and jnani. There are two phases. These are two facets of the matured one who has realized oneself, is that sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. Kasyam bhashayam eshah sthita prajnah bhashanam karoti. Samadhisthasya keshava yaha samadhau sthitah tadrishah yogi sthita prajnah sthitadhihi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. Sthitadhihi yasya buddhihi yasya dhi shaktihi sthita bhavati tasya स्थितधीहि किं प्रभाषेत कथं सः भाषणं करोति किम् आसीत कथम् उपविशति व्रजेत कथं गच्छति इति एते प्रश्नाः. Arjuna gets in his mind that how does a realized one speak, how does he walk, how does he communicate, how does he sit in a place. So these are all curious questions that Arjuna has. If you say we have a possibility that being as a human being you can be realized one. After listening to all the description of Atma, now Arjuna asks, if you say that there is Atma Jnana, there are some people who have realized the Atma, then tell me, how do they look like? What do they eat? How do they sleep? What do they speak? How do they walk? All these curious enough to know that Arjuna is asking Sthita Prajna. So hereafter, few shlokas are completely dedicated to know the details and features and the qualities and characteristics of Sthita Prajna, which is one of the very core concepts, one of the special contributing concepts from Bhagavad Gita. In other words, in other Upanishads, we find this kind of narration about Sthita Prajna, but not explicitly that Arjuna is getting lessons from directly Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava sthitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita vrajeta kim. To Arjuna, Bhagavan says in the following fashion. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnastadochyate. You see, here this shloka is very, very important in terms of defining who is someone matured or who can we rely upon as a point of reference for all kinds of knowledge which had to be experientially possible. He says, Prajahati yada kaman. Kaman yada prajahati chahati tyajati. When he is done away with all the desires. And where do they exist? Desire? Sarvan partha manogatan. Manasi ya ye kamaha bhavanti yaha tan sarvan tyajati. The one who has discarded all the desires from the mind. In fact, desires exist and they make home in our minds. The desire of all the senses, desire of comforts that we seek through the body is originating from the mind only. It is not that eyes are willing to see. Eyes are not looking for to see something unless the mind says, okay, mind says, you watch a movie, why don't you look at the nature and enjoy? Why don't you look at beautiful flower? Why don't you appreciate the beauty outside? So this is the instruction, this is the bogies of desires in the mind, but percolated to the body, and hence body is enacting all the desires which are existing in the mind only. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan manasi ye santi kamaha tan yada prajahati atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnaha tada uchyate. This is yet another continuation of the description of sthita prajna. Atmanyevatmana tushtaha. Tushtaha eshaha yogi atmani eva. Atmana tushtaha. There is nothing externally trying to make this yogi happy. It is the happiness independently existing from any other dependencies. All our claims are, okay, I will be happy when I get good food. I will be happy when my friends are around me. I will be happy when I'm having all types of comforts that I desired for till now. I am happy only when my parents pat me. I am happy only when Facebook and Insta likes are exponentially increasing. I will only be happy when others appreciate my work. I will be happy only when the students receive what I say. I will be happy only when children listens to my words. I will be happy only when in-laws are committedly following my instructions. So these are all conditions that we put upon ourselves to be happy. So I am dependent on many factors in my life for me to be happy. Is it not the situation that we generally come across, including each one of us? That means I am happy only when something is how I desire. I will only be happy when that the conditions are fulfilled. but still it is an external factor that is influencing me. Meaning, for my happiness, if something else is the cause, if something else is the source of my happiness, this is what the distinguishing factor between any common man and the yogi, and in specific terms, the person is called Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna is the one who is happy oneself, irrespective of the conditions, irrespective of all the other factors are going in sync with what one thinks or how one wants. So the one of the major qualities of Sthita Prajna here, as mentioned in this Bhagavad Gita, Atmani eva Atmana Tushtaha. Tushtaha, happy, in bliss condition, in ecstasy, when Atmani eva Atmana. However, all the time within oneself. No external dependency is the cause of one's happiness. Then it is called, the condition is called Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna is the one who is happy by oneself all the time, irrespective of the conditions outside. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha Sthita Prajna Tada Uchyate. Then दुःखेषु अनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीः मुनिः उच्यते. That person again is called Sthita Prajna, who is away from dukkeshu anudvignamanaha. One is not depressed or dejected when dukkha comes. When someone confronts dukkha, generally people have this tendency of getting dejected very easily for experiencing dukkha. Anudvignamanaha sukheshu vigatasprihaha, or overwhelmingly overjoyed because I am getting more sukha. Sukheshu vigatasprihaha vita raga bhaya krodhaha. Ragaha bhayam krodhaha etat etaihi tribhihi vimuktaha. One who is devoid of bhaya, krodha and raga. Raga, bhaya and krodha are the three very key and critical tool to change the behavior of a person. When one is with full of lust or desire or having a great ambition to achieve something, in fact that causes the deeper repercussions in the future, in the upcoming days. So raga, bhaya and krodha. Bhaya is the fear. So in fear people are ready to do anything. And krodha is anger. So these are the three evil vices that a Sthita Prajna is out of. So here the Sthita Prajna description continues in few more shlokas that we will be seeing in the further sessions that we will be engaging in. Om Shanti.
Adbhuta Vakyanartham. Dhanyavadaha Dr. Sushrutha ji. Govindashtakam stotrasya niyamita pataha mana shanti dadati tatacha bhavataha jivanat sarvani dushtani duram krutva swastaha dhanikaha samruddhaha cha bhavati. Kumari Leisha and Teisha are studying at Abhaya Waldorf School at Hyderabad. Leisha has interest in painting, drawing and reading. Teisha has passion in drawing and playing with blocks. Both are learning music under Srimati N.K.Hemalatha Aiyer. Idam sundaram shlokam prastutam ubayoho swagatam karomi. Welcome Leisha and Teisha.
Namaskaram. I will be singing Shri Govindashtakam. Satyam Nanamanantam Nityananakasham Paramakasham Kosta Pranganarim Pranalulanayasam Paramayasam Maya Kalpitananakara Manakara Bhuvanakara
ఆ వీడియో తీసే నాది వీడియో ఉంది.
Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Mritsnamatsi Yashoda Tadana Shaishava Santrasam Vyaditavatra Lokitaloka Lokachaturdashalokalim Lokatrayapuramoolastambam Lokalokam Lokesham Paramesham Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Traiveshta Paripuviragna Kshitivaradnam Pavarogagnam Kaivalyam Navanitaharam Bhuvanaharam Vaimalyasputacheto vritti Visheshabhasamanabhasam Shaivam Kevala Shantam Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Gopalam Prabhulila Vigraha Gopalam Kula Gopalam Gopi Kelana Govardhana Dati Leela Lalita Gopalam Govindnigatida Govinda Sputanamana Bahunamanam Gopi Gochara Duram Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Gopi Mandala Goshti Vedam Vedavastama Vedabam Shashvat Gopura Nirbuddhotkata Duli Dusara Saubhagyam Shraddha Bhakti Grihitanandam Achintyam Chintita Sadbhavam Chintamani Mahimanam Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Snana Vyakulayoshit Vastramupadaya Gamuparudam Vyadit Santi Ratha Digvastra Gautuma Santama Nirdutadvaya Shoka Vimoham Buddham Buddhirantastam Sattamatra Shariram Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Kantam Karana Karanamadim Manadim Kalamanabhasam Kalindi Gata Kaliya Sirasi Sunrutyam Tamuhuratyantam Kalam Kalakalatirtam Kalitashesham Kalidoshagnam Kalatrayakatihetum Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Vrindavana Bhuvi Vrindarakagana Vrindaratita Vandyayam Kunda Bhamala Mandasmir Sudanandam Suhamanandam Vandya Shesha Mahamuni Manasa Vandya Nandapadatwandam Vandya Shesha Gunabdam Pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Govindashtakamita Dītate Govindalpita Chetayo Govindachyuta Madhava Vishnu Gokulanayaka Krishneti गोविन्दामृ सरोजाद्यान सुधा जलदौत समस्तागो गोविन्दं परमानन्दामृत मन्तहस्तं समभ्येति. Thank you.
You're Leisha, right?
Yes.
Adbhutam Gayanam, so sweet to hear, and your pronunciation was excellent, Leisha. Dhanyavad. Thank you. Narayaneeyam aho shariram manasikam cha rogam cha chikitsati. It takes me immense pleasure to invite Srimati Geetha Vinod to present about Nutiratnam Narayaneeyam. Srimati Geetha has passion about learning and mastering the language of Samskrita. Had secured excellent gradation in higher and higher secondary and subject topper in BSc. Had learned Carnatic music for over 10 years under Srimati Rajeshwari, former principal, Madras Music College. Currently learning from Srimati Geetha Sundaresan. Had featured in albums of Sarigama Padani and Tyagaraja Aradhana in Doordarshan. Samskrita Vaani Parivarataha Hardikam Swagatam. Welcome, Srimati Geetha.
Namasabhaye, Dhanyavadaha. As she said, Aham idanim Maskit Nagare Vasami, Tadapi Vaktum Ichhami. Can I start with my screen share? Drishyate khalu? Nutiratnam Narayanam. पीताम्बरं करविराजितशङ्खचक्रकौमोदकी सरसिजं करुणासमुद्रं राधासहायम् अतिसुन्दरमन्दहासं वातालयेशमनिशं हृदि भावयामि मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. Before we start on talking about Narayaneeyam, this is a Prachina Shloka, which is a stuti on the poet devotee Narayana Bhattadri. Mokshabdhi saramaya bhagavatakya dadhnaha Narayaneeya navanitamaho grihitva Maya mayogha paritapta janaya yodat Narayana Vani Suraya Namostu Tasmai. I would like to explain about this shloka. Bhagavatam, we know, is the greatest Purana that we have. So Mokshabdhi Saramaya, that Bhagavatam is a Mokshabdhi Saramayam Asti Bhagavatam. And he's comparing it to a curd. If you churn curd, what comes out? What comes out is pure butter. So Narayana Bhattadri has churned the Mokshabdhi Saramaya Bhagavatakya Dadhnaha, the curd which is called Bhagavatam, which is the path for liberation. We all know that. And he came out, Grihitva, he took out, he churned and churned and churned and took out that Navanitam, which is Narayaneeyam. And to whom did he give? He gave it to people at large. Maya, what kind of people? Maya, Mayogha, Paritapta Janaya, Adat. He gave it to general mankind who are actually suffering because of we know all the three sufferings kinds of Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, we are all suffering. And which is all caused, the basic reason is because of Maya. So Maya, Mayogha, Paritapta Janaya, Adat, Navanitam Adat, called Narayaneeyam. And his name is also Narayana. So Narayana Avanisuraya. Avanisura is another name for Brahmana. Since he was born a Brahmin and he, of course, was a Brahmana in the literal sense also, because he's a true Brahmana. Brahmam Janati iti Brahmanaha. So Narayana Avanisuraya Tasmai Namo Astu. Let us all pray to that poet devotee Narayana Bhattadri. A small insight about the poet before we go into the grantha that he wrote. He was born in 1560 in Melpattur, which is near our Bharatapura in Kerala. He was born to Matrudattan Bhattadri, who himself was a Pandit and a great Mimamsa scholar. And so first he started his education from his father only on Mimamsa. And then he went on to learn Rig Veda from Madhavacharya, Tarka Shastram from Damodara, who also happened to be his brother, and Vyakarana Shastra from Achyuta Pisharadi. And by the age of 16, he had become a Pandit, and he also got married to Achyuta Pisharadi's niece and settled in Tirur. Now, by this time, there is a small backdrop to his writing Narayaneeyam. Janiyuhu Tathapi, Achyuta Pisharadi was afflicted by rheumatism. So when they made a prashna, as is very common in Kerala, they found out that it is the karma phala of Achyuta Pisharadi. So out of extreme devotion towards his guru, Narayana Bhattadri thought that he will take it upon himself, the affliction of his guru, and relieve the guru of his disease. So that was the kind of Guru Dakshina that he wanted, very special right from the, very young age. Didn't want to give any normal Guru Dakshina. So this was the Guru Dakshina that he wanted to give. He said, I will take it upon my, there is a method to do that also. They call it Vipaka, Karma Vipaka Dana. So you can give your phala, karma phala also can be transferred on to somebody. So using that process, slowly we saw that his guru was getting relieved of his rheumatism or arthritis or paralysis, whatever we may call it, of his Vada Roga, and slowly Narayana Bhattadri started feeling the pain. And he thought, being young, that he could take it, or he could, he's also not only a polymath, not only a grammarian, not only an astrologer, also an Ayurvedic physician also. So he tried various methods and nothing bore fruit. And at last he had to resort to Guruvayur. Now, one point I would like to mention here, that many people know Guruvayur to be a panacea for curing any kind of ailment. Many people also associated with Narayaneeyam and Bhattadri, but I would like to point out that much before that, it was very well known that you can get cured of all your ailments, and that is the reason which made Bhattadri also go to Guruvayur in order to seek relief from his ailment. And he was also inspired by his friend Tunjathu Ezhuthachan to start with Meen Thottu Thodangu Ennanu Paranjathu. So he understood the purport. During being a Brahmana, any third person will think differently, but he understood the purport that he was trying to tell, to start with Matsyavatara and make shloka or create a grantha which will extol the virtues of Bhagavan Mahavishnu in all his incarnations, starting from Matsyavatara. He understood that, and then he starts composing 10 shlokas per day. That is what makes one dashakam. So 10 shlokas he used to make with, of course, the schema, central schema is Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the inspiration for him, from which he started composing shlokas, 10 shlokas per day. And that only makes one dashakam. And that was the unique nivedyam. If for Guru it was that kind of a dakshina, for Bhagavan it was not normal flowers. It was Kusuma Dashakaihi Nivedanam Kritavan. Archanam Kritavan, Kusuma Dashakaihi. With every dashaka, with every shloka, he was offering that as his flower. And that is, it went on like this for 100 days. And on the 100th day, as we all know, he had Pratyaksha Darshanam of Madana Gopala Rupam, Maya Manusha Rupam, and he was completely cured of his illness. And he has mentioned it in the last shloka of the 100th dashakam, where Katapayadi Sankhya rule applies, and Pandits have decoded it to 7th December as the date of completion in the English calendar. 7th December, it works out to somewhere around 7th December 1587. And all this happened when he was just 27 years old. So this is about the great poet who Rachanam Kritavan Narayaniyasya. When we speak about this Guru Dakshina, another Guru Dakshina will definitely come, because you're all learned people. It will come to you that Ekalavya's Guru Dakshina was also very unique, because Dronacharya asked for his thumb. So that is also a very unique Guru Dakshina. This is also a very unique Guru. But the only difference here is, in the earlier case in Ekalavya, the former Dakshina disabled the Shishya. He could not use his Vidya, Shastra Vidya that he learnt. Even without the Guru, he could not use that after that. So it literally disabled the Shishya from using his Vidya. Whereas here, because the Guru was so happy with this Guru Dakshina, with his Guru Prasada and Bhagavad Prasada, this Shishya, Narayana Bhattadri, was able to pour out all that he learnt into this Grantha, and which is a work of unparalleled excellence. And because of this, it became a blessing for all of us at large in Kali Yuga. This is about, and to talk about Narayana Bhattadri as a prodigy, just a trailer as to what kind of a person he can become. This shloka is actually any student of, I see students reciting Govindashtakam and all that. They must be students of Samskritam. Very happy to note. Any student of Samskritam at the beginning stage will be taught vibhaktis, right? Of any Shabda, maybe mostly starting with Rama Shabda or Krishna Shabda, or Rama 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 Ramam. So we know the importance of the 7 vibhaktis. So this boy, when he was taken to a temple with his mother, an elderly relative happened to see him in the temple and asked him, so how are the studies going on? How is Samskrita Patanam? Katham Prachalati? Iti Uttama. So immediately Bhattadri answered with this shloka. Krishno rakshatu mam charachara guruhu Krishnam namasye sada Krishnenaiva surakshitoham sakrit Krishnaya dattam manaha Krishnat eva samudbhavo mama guroho Krishnasya dasosmyaham Krishno bhakti rachanchala He Krishna Bhagavan He Krishna tubhyam namaha. So Krishnaha Krishnam Krishne Krishnaya Krishnat eva Krishnasya Krishne, in Krishna, let me have complete Achanchala Bhakti. Let me have Achanchala Bhakti in Krishna. Hey Krishna, Tubhyam Namaha. So employing all the 7 vibhaktis in a shloka, rendered meaningful also. He just did not chant the vibhaktis. He made them into a shloka, and that too on his Ishta Devata. If this was the capacity of Bhattadri at 5 years or so, then you can imagine with all the studies and how much he must have developed as a poet when he started writing Narayaneeyam. I would like to quickly mention the other works because everybody knows Bhattadri wrote Narayaneeyam, but he has also written 40 other works, and they can be broadly classified into Vyakarana Granthas, that is Granthas on grammar, and on Purva Mimamsa also he has written 2 books, and Stotra Grantaha, which includes Sriman Narayaneeyam, Sripada Saptatihi, Guru Ayur Puresha Stavam, everything. And then Prabandhas. Prabandhas are narratives. In that I have to specifically mention about, to show the greatness of the poet. There is a Prabandha called Niranunasika Prabandha. This is actually, the prasanga is, the story is about Shurpanaka going to the court of Ravana and explaining whatever happened. This was after her nose was cut by Lakshmana. So she goes to Ravana and tells whatever happened in the forest. So this is a situation of that Prabandha. So he composed, thinking that her nose, thinking about Shurpanaka and how she would have spoken with the nose cut. So he did not use any Anunasika Varna Tatra. Without using Anunasika Varna, anybody, a student of Sanskrit will know, the 5th letter of every Kavarga, Chavarga, Astikalu, Kakagaga, Nga, Chacha, Jaja, Nya, Tata, Tada, Na. So that every last syllable requires the nasal tone, without which you cannot utter this syllable. So he created an entire work, entire work without using these aksharas. So that is at the same time making it very meaningful, very assertive. So just to throw light on the greatness of Bhattadri as a poet. Now, before we go to Narayaneeyam as such, I'm duty bound to talk about the greatness of Guruvayur also. This Divya Mangala Vigraham that we have in Guruvayur today in the shrine was actually handed over by Mahavishnu himself to Brahma in the beginning of the Padma Kalpa. And then later it came to Sutapas and Prishni. We all know how they propitiated this Vigraha, and then they asked God himself when he came in person, pleased by their devotion. They asked him that we want a son, please give us a son who is equal to you. So Bhagavan, and out of Ati Autsukyena Trivaram Uktavan Sutapas Maharshihi. 3 times he asked this out of Utsukya. So Bhagavan said one thing, there is nobody equal to me. There is only me. So I myself will be born to you. And since you asked 3 times, I will be born to you in 3 different avatars. So we know first avatara was as Krishnigarbha, and second in the Treta Yuga, the same couple as Kashyapa and Aditi, to them was born Vamana. Mahavishnu was born as Vamana, we know. And then the same couple as Vasudeva and Devaki, we know Vasudeva Krishna Eva Bhutavan. And that Krishna himself consecrated the same Vigraha at Dwaraka after Kamsavada and all that. Krishna himself consecrated his own Vigraha. And when it was time for the design ascent, he called Uddhava and he gave instructions as to how to recover this idol and then hand over to Guru and Vayu, who carried it. And Uddhava also, after the divine ascent, when the Dwaraka was submerged, he recovered this idol from the waters and then handed over to Guru Brihaspati and Vayu, who carried it with the instructions from Parashurama. They went to this spot where it is right now, which was actually initially occupied by Rudra and his wife Parvati. They were only there, but when asked, Rudra said, this is the most ideal location. We will move. That time, even now, that is why the lake there near Guruvayur temple, it is called Rudra Tirtham, because they were only staying there. And then they opted to move out. They went to the other side of the lake, that is Mamiyur right now. And that is why even now people say you have to first visit Shiva at Mamiyur before even going to Bhagavan Krishna at Guruvayur. So that is the Kshetra Mahima, and we must remember it is sitting in front of this idol right there at the Vadil Madam that Narayana Bhattadri started composing. And we will see later on how Krishna himself had given prerana at many occasions during the course of this work. So everybody calls Sriman Narayaneeyam as a condensation, or we will come to that later. It's of course definitely Bhagavata Sara Sangraha eva asti Sriman Narayaneeyam. A few examples to quote, which shows the dexterity of Bhattadri in epitomizing such a vast data into such a small capsule form. So first is Kapilopadesha. Entire Kapilopadesham Sankhya Yogam is covered in just 10 shlokas in 15th Dashakam of Sriman Narayaneeyam. And of course, the great Ramayanam, 24,000 shlokas, Valmiki Ramayana have been capsulated in just 20 shlokas without in any way missing out on any incident or important item not to be missed upon. In just 2 Dashakams, 34 and 35. Mahabharatam. We know how vast Mahabharatam is. Again, one single Dashakam took care of Mahabharata. In fact, he has picked out the focal point for Bhattadri is always Sri Krishna. So Mahabharatam, though vast it is, he picked out only those instances where Krishna has given anugraha at various levels and picked out those, and then so much so that the entire Bhagavad Gita is condensed in Shloka number 6 of this 86th Dashaka. We can see that, and similarly, the Keshadipada Varnanam also. Though we have the entire Keshadipada Varnanam in the 100th Dashaka, the same thing, same Keshadipada Varnanam is again given in one shloka. We will see that just to educate ourselves on that. This is the Bhagavad Gita shloka, the one which corresponds to the entire Bhagavad Gita. Jishnosvam Krishna Sutah Khalu Samaramukhe Bandhu Ghate Dayalum Khinnam Tam Vikshya Viram Kimidamai Sakhe Nitya Eko Yamatma Ko Vadhyak Kotra Hanta Tadiha Vadhabiyam Projyamayar Pitatma Dharmyam Yuddham Chareti Prakriti Manayatha Darshayan Vishwarupam Tvam Sutaha Khalu, you became the chariot for who? Jishnu. Jishnoho Sutaha Khalu. Jishnu is another name for Arjuna, because he's got it is a practice for him to win. He has never lost. So Jishnu, Tvam Sutaha Khalu, you became the charioteer. And Samaramukhe, Samara means at the battlefield. Bandhu Ghate, when he was faced with the option of killing all his bandhus, relatives, he became very dayalu, kripalu, thinking of whether I should kill these people. So Khinnam, out of that he was very sad. Tam Vikshya, on seeing him. Veeram Tam Vikshya, actually Veera, but he became a dayalu at the thought of killing his own relatives and bandhus. So Kim Idam, what happened to you, O Sakhe? Atma tu nitya asti. Eka eva asti atma and nitya api asti. So nityam asti atma. The entire essence of Bhagavad Gita. What is there to get worried about? Ko vadhyaha, who can be killed? Because atma nitya asti. Only the body can be killed, not the atma. Nothing can be done to the atma. Ko vadhyaha, who is to be killed here? Ko atrahanta, who is killing and who can be killed? Not the atma. Tadiha vadabhiyam projya. So give up on all this and maya arpita atma. Surrender yourself unto me and dharmyam yuddham chara. Go with your dharma, swadharma. Swadharma for a kshatriya is only to do yuddha, and that cannot be called as killing or papa in any sense. So swadharmam yuddham chara iti prakriti manayatha. He brought him back to his senses. Prakriti is normal. Prakritim anayathaha. He was brought back to his senses by showing Darshayan Vishwarupam. Murjapochiliya, entire Bhagavad Gita is over in one shloka. What is not there in this? Similarly, about the Keshadipada Varnanam of Bhagavan, Anila Slakshna Kesham Jwalita Makarasat Kundalam Mandahasam Syandardram Kaustubasri Parigata Vanamaloruhabhiramam. So right from the locks of hair which are so dark, bluish dark, till the feet of Bhagavan. The whole Keshadipada Varnanam is also there in the 95th Dashaka, 8th verse. Anybody, we are in a very fast world today. Bhagavatam, we cannot condense, we cannot learn or we cannot chant in one day. So it has come down to Narayaneeyam. Narayaneeyam also I can learn only one Dashakam, fine. I can't learn even one Dashakam. Okay, this one verse of 95, 5th Dashakam, 8th, that is enough for us to do dhyanam. Most of the shlokas in Narayaneeyam are almost like a mantra, which we will see later. So if anybody wants to do dhyanam on the rupam of the Bhagavan, then this one shloka is enough. I think one shloka we can all take up and definitely memorize or use it for our dhyana purpose. That is one. And then again, coming back to Narayaneeyam being referred to as a summary, I beg to differ, not only just me. Anybody who has tasted a Narayaneeyam and gone through it at least once with the meaning will definitely agree with me, because for more reasons than one. Bhattadri has definitely lived through the episodes. He is not just quoting something, not a mechanical pressy writing exercise, definitely not, which can be very evidently seen from this shloka. This shloka actually refers to that's Sarga where Bhagavan enters Mathura. That is the Sarga here. By then, people had already come to know a little bit, even though they didn't know that he is Bhagavan Mahavishnu himself. They knew that there is something special about this boy, because before this shloka, they had already seen him liberating the washerman, the Kubja straightening her hunchback, and the Malakara. All these people had been liberated already. So they knew that there is something special about this boy. And for that, they started, that is why, Tavan Vaibhava, Tavat, why now? They had understood, Nischitam, Vaibhavam, ஏதோ வைபவம் இருக்கு குழந்தைகிட்ட அப்படின்னு புரிஞ்சுடுது. Tavan Nischita Vaibhavastava Vibho, Natyanta Papa Janaha. See the usage of words. Na Atyanta Papaha. Ava avlonum pavam pannalayam. In fact, Punyavantaha ityeva arthaha tatra. Na Atyanta Papa Janaha. But Punyamati Tavatna Krutavantaha. Avlo Punyamam Pandla. But Papamu Andaluk Pandla. Adanaldan they were able to witness you when you entered Mathura in all your majesty. Yatkinchit dadate esma. Yatkinchit dadate esma Shaktyanugunam. Tambulamalyadikam. Yatkinchit, something in their hands they used to carry and present, give you as a present. What kind of present? Shakti Anugunam, according to their capacity, they offered something to you. Shakti Anugunam, Tambulamva, Malava, something like this. They offered you, but aho, Bhattadri is now again coming back to himself. They did like that, but see my state. Grinnanaha, Kusumadi, something in my hand, little flower or something I should have taken in my hand. Kinchana, something at least I should have taken. And Tada, Tasmin Samaye, Marge, on that path when you were coming, Nibandhanjalihi, with my hands folded, I did not stand. Bata, I did not stand. I was not part of that group of people welcoming you with something in their hands. Bata, that is why, Aho Krishna, Bhatta, Aho, rendu usage, rendu means alas, but Virukta Matra, just to show to what extent he is feeling bad that I did not do that day, that is why I am suffering like this, oh Krishna, with all these ailments. Had I done that, I would not have been taken birth again in this lifetime to suffer like this. So, Bhattadri has literally lived through these episodes. It is not just relating an episode, telling a story, narrating in his own poetic excellence. Na. It is with so much of bhava that it has been given as a samarpana, literally. Again, no compromise at all. Whenever, whether it is a translation or a condensation, definitely we will lose out on the fervor of the original text because of the language, specifically because of the language. Because we will not be able to get the same fervor in which it was originally composed. So if that is being the case, here, when you are trying to condense such a big epic, here in this case, in Narayaneeyam, there is no compromise either on the content or on the purport. In fact, it is a little more poshanam, addition of poshanam. There is not just feeding, poshanam is enriching. So, whatever incident is there in Bhagavatam, when it comes in Narayaneeyam, there is a little more enrichment added to the entire. Just for example, let us take Ramayana verse. Ramayana verse, I don't have to tell you if he has encapsulated Ramayana, how much of story must have gone into that one shloka. I will just show you. It is an example for the Dhirga Samasas, which we will be seeing later also. Sodarya Proktava Varta Vivasha Dashamukhadishtamari Chamaya Sarangasara Sakshya Srihitamanugata Pravadhir Bhanagatam. Sodarya Shurpanaka. Sodarya Proktavarta, instigated by Shurpanaka, Vivashaha, without any other go. Dashamukha Ravana, Adishta, Maricha, he ordered Maricha, Maya Sarangam Bhavatu iti, may become a magical deer. He told that Saranga, Sarasakshya. Sarasakshya refers to Sita here. See the beauty. Saranga Sarasakshya, that Geetha, that Sita who has got beautiful eyes like that of a deer. Ingeda poetry vilayadradhu. Maya Saranga Sarasakshya Sprihitam. She wanted to touch, not Rama. She desired to have that deer. So Sarasakshya Sprihitam Anugataha, Ramaha Anugataha. He went behind that deer because it was desired by Sita. And Pravadhihi, he killed Banagatam. That deer was killed. Banena Ghatam. It was killed by Rama's Bana. But what did he do? That he gave a cry, imitating Rama's voice. Tanmaya kranda niryapita bhavadanujam ravanastam aharshit. Ravana took away that Sita who heard your voice and sent Lakshmana in order to be of service to you. Tanmaya kranda niryapita bhavadanujam. Angiyam parango, it is straight person singular, your brother Lakshmana. So here, whether it is Rama or Parashurama or whatever it is, for Bhattadri, it is only Bhagavan who has come in that form. It is very evident in the first shloka of Ramayanam itself, Girvane, and the shloka, Ramastvam Lakshmanena, you were born as Rama to Dasharatha. So that is how he is. And again, in the other Dashakam where Hanuman is coming and giving Mauliratnam, Sita's Chudamani to Rama, he is telling, Drishtva Plishtva Chalankam Jhatiti Sa Hanuman Mauliratnam Dadau Te Ungata Kurtarin. He gave it to you. And he is addressing Bhagavan Sri Krishna only. And it has been approved also because it is only him in those forms. So Tanmaya Krandan Niryapita Bhavadanujam Ravanastam Aharshit Tena. Okay, she was taken away by Ravana. Tena Arto Api. You were aggrieved by that, definitely. You were very upset by that. Tathapi Tena Arto Api Kimapi Mudamadaha. This is the beauty. You gave a small smile of satisfaction within. Now, entire Valmiki Ramayanam has been shown with Rama as a human being, enacting all the emotions pertaining to a human being. Not once did Rama showcase himself to be an avatara Purusha at any point of time in his life. Valmiki also has stuck to that. Everywhere it has been, whereas Krishna Avatara, straight opposite, right from the word go, he has been showing that he is an avatara. But Ramayanam particularly, there is no instance where Bhagavan shows himself to be an avatara Purusha. But here, Bhattadri opens that secret and says, Tvam tena artaha, your wife has been taken away, you are very upset. Tathapi, even then, ante, mudamadaha, mudam sandosham. You felt happy. You gave an internal smile within. Why? Because that gave the bijam, that gave the purpose for your avatara. Now, yes, now I can go to Ravana and finish him off. There should be a hetu, no? There should be a reason. So here Bhattadri is telling, he has opened the secret that Rama knew. Because what is the question? Where is the question of Shloka for Avatara Purusha? There is no question of Shloka, but still he lamented when he saw Lakshmana, he lamented openly. All that he did as befitting a human being who will be separated from his estranged wife. Definitely, yes. But this last line proves and is going one step ahead of Bhagavatam, where if you see, there is no mention that Rama felt happy or anything like that. But here it is very clearly shown. So this shows the beauty and the one step we have to definitely give. It definitely deserves a status by itself, Narayaneeyam. And Bhakta Lakshana, when we speak about Bhakta Lakshana, which is there in the third Dashaka, he talks about Patanto Namani Pramada Bharasindoni Patitaha Smaranto Rupante Varada Kathayanto Gunakathaha Charanto Ye Bhaktas Tvai Khaluramante Paramamun Aham Dhanyan Manye Samadhigata Sarva Bhilashitan. This shloka, if you see the meaning, he's talking about the lakshana of devotees, how they should be or how they are generally. They are always Patantaha namani. Patantaha, continuous tense. We must be very careful. He didn't say patanti. Patantaha. That's the beauty of they are continuously reading. Patanto namani. Pramada bhara sindau nipatitaha. They have fallen into the ocean of bliss. Smaranto rupam te. And always thinking about your Divya Mangala rupam. Varada kathayanto gunakataha. And they are singing about your praises, about your activities, your guna and your katha. They are all the time thinking and talking to each other. And charantaha can be taken in two ways. Charantaha not only by walk or by movement of physical movement. Charantaha, mind is always moving, isn't it? Even when we are at rest, mind is always moving. So that kind of a moving mind, with that also they are able to think about you and attain complete bliss. Charantaha ye bhaktaha tvai khalu ramante, tvai ramante. Mahodaya spoke about Chita Prajnaha. Atmani ramante. Atmani katham ramante. Only when you see Paramatma inside. So ramante, they enjoy that bliss of seeing you within, thinking about you all the time, speaking about you, singing your glories. Aham, and Kavi says, I consider them as dhanya because all their wishes are satisfied. Now compare this Shloka to what we see in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. When Bhagavan says, when he in Vibhuti Yoga, Machittaha, about the Lakshana of devotees, Machittaha, Madgata Pranaha, Bodhayantaha Parasparam. What is he telling? Machittaha, they are always thinking about me. Madgata Pranaha, they will give they give entire life to me. Because they've surrendered to me. Bodhayantaha Parasparam. Parasparam Bodhayantaha. Between themselves, they are sharing thoughts of Krishna. That's what happens in a satsang. No? We do only that. Why do we meet? Only to share. Not that you don't know about Bhagavatam or Narayaneeyam. Not that I don't know. We revel in talking about it again. Parasparam Bodhayan. No, evam nasti. Evam asti. Parasparam Bodhayantaha. Katayantaha. Mam. Raman, same, Ramante Paramamun, Parasparam Gunakatan Kathayantaha. So similar words, similar idea. So it's not just Bhagavatam. He has taken whatever applied to him for his Ishtadevata. In fact, even in Prakriya Sarvaswam, which is entirely treatise on grammar, on Paninian grammar, all the examples that he has given mostly will pertain to Krishna. So he has used that because that is, and if he is going to compose a work entirely on Krishna, then we need not talk about this any further, no? So, Vyakarna Drishtya Pashyamaha, there is enough has been spoken about Alankaras, the Shabda Alankaras there, Artha Alankaras there, Prasa, Anuprasa, Yamaka, we can go on. And about the Vrittas, I will come. 26 different meters we know the Chandas, prosody, in which a poem is constructed. 26 different meters have been used in all the 100 dashakas, depending on, we will see about that. And samasas, as I told you, dhirga samasas, compounding, combining 4 or 5 words in order to present. Otherwise, the whole Shurpanaka episode till Maricha coming, everything covered in just 2 lines, 1 line, 3 lines. How? It is only because of the presence of usage of samasas to a great extent. And playing with not only words, but also little letters. The ksha, very difficult in the sense, not much used. Just like our alphabet Z. How many words we will know from, which involve Z? Like that, ksha is not very commonly used, but still in this, how much you can see. Vakshasthali Sukhanilina Vilasi Lakshmi Mandaksha Lakshita Kataksha Vimoksha Bedaha. Beauty. And making it meaningful also. Again here, with the letter La. Jagadisha Bhavatpara Tadanim. This is about Avirbhavam of Lakshmi Devi. Imagine Lakshmi Devi we know as Ashtalakshmi. So here, apart from the Lakshmi, he has used La in 7 different places. Kamaniya Kamala Babhuva Devi Amalam Avalokyam Vilolaha, like this 7 times he has used, plus 1 Lakshmi about whom he is talking about Ashtalakshmi. So the beauty of these words, when we simply do Parayanam, we cannot understand the beauty, or each and every shloka will make you think. So since time is less, I am just rushing across. And Yamaka, this I have to, we cannot pass without using. This is a poetic device which uses one particular word which sounds similar, used back to back twice. Twice when you use it, it is called Yamaka. See this shloka, and this Yamaka example is being given the entire 78th and 79th Dashaka. You will find that Rukmini Kalyanam asti, Tatra, every last padam, it will definitely end in a Yamaka. Athavida Ruba Sutam Khalu Rukminim Pranayinim Twayi Deva Sahodara Swayamadhitsita Chedi Mahi Bhuje Swatamasa Tamasa Dhumupashrayan Tamasa Tamasa. We listen to, when we listen to it, it looks like Tamasa Tamasa. But when you, this prasanga I have to tell, Vidarbha Suta, Rukmini is Vidarbha Suta. She was in love with you. Pranayinim Twai. Illam Bhagavan, first person singular. So he is talking to, she was in love with you. So Pranayinim Twai Deva Sahodaraha Tasyaha Sahodaraha Rukmi Swayam. He decided that he will give his sister to Shishupala. Chedi Mahi Bhuje. Because he was king of Chedi, Shishupala is referred as Chedi Mahi Bhuje Tam Asa. So Chedi Mahi, he decided to give his sister in marriage to Shishupala. Why? Because Swatamasa. Tamasa means we know Asatoma Sadgamayalende Elarkum Terium. Tamas means darkness, ignorance. Atra ignorance. Because of his ignorance, he decided on his own that he will give his sister in marriage to a person like Shishupala. And now comes the beauty. Tam asadhum upashrayan. We have to split that second word like that. Tamasa tamasadhum upashrayan is to be split as tam asadhum upashrayan. He resorted to that asadhu. Sadhu means good. Asadhu, Shanti, Ashanti, like that. Any apasarga yojanena, the meaning changes. So asadhu, bad person that he was, Shishupala by birth. Tam upashrayan. So swatamasa tamasadhum upashrayan. Like this you will have everywhere. Then by that time she had, towards the next Dashaka I am jumping. Kulavadhubir upeti kumarika giri sutam paripujya chasadaram. She goes. Rukmini has sent word already to Krishna saying that please come and marry me. Through a Brahmana she has sent word. Please come and marry me. But then she has not told anything at home. So as such, going by their preparations, she is getting ready for the marriage. Before the marriage, she went to Giri Sutam Paripujya. She went to the Mandiram of Girija, goddess Parvati, in order to take her blessings before the marriage. That time Kavi says, Kulavadhu virupetya kumarika girisutam paripujya chasadaram muhuraya chatatpada pankaje nipatita patitam tava kevalam. Nipatita patitam. Yamaka again. So Muhura, she went and she did propitiated goddess Parvati. And what did she ask for? Muhuhu muhuhu. Again and again she asked for what? Kevalam tava patitam ayachata. She asked for you to be her husband. Oh goddess Parvati, make Sri Krishna my husband. Tava. Again, Bhattadri is talking about Sri Krishna to him only. So she asked you to be her husband. That is what she asked. And how she asked? Nipatita. By falling down at the feet of Parvati. Tatpada pankaja. On the lotus feet of Parvati, she prostrated. That is what means Nipatita ityukte. She prostrated. But artham pashyamaha chet bhinnam asti kalu. Nipatita is prostrating. Patitam is the act of Krishna becoming the husband of Rukmini. So this is the play on words with which when by sound it seems so similar, but by meaning it is totally different and gives a beautiful. And if we read the translation of this shloka, we cannot get the beauty. That is why a little bit of knowledge in that language, in the original language in which it is composed, only then we can appreciate. This is what I mean by portion. That poetic brilliance which adds more, enriches the very sentiment that he is talking about. This is about Yamaka and about the different meters. I think, do we have time? Or I'll quickly run.
Yes, please cover one more shloka.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Okay. So we have different meters. Meters have been employed not just like that in order to convey the correct, the flavor or the mood, to set the mood. Shardula Vikridita, as the name itself suggests, it's like a Royal Bengal tiger. Shardula means tiger, and the gait of a tiger. So that is the that has been employed for talking about Narasimha Avatara. Stambhe ghattayato hiranyakashipoho karnau samachurnayam aghurna jagadanda kunda kuharo ghorastava bhutravaha shrutva yankila daityaraja hridaye purvam kadapya srutam kampah kaschana sampapata chalitopyam bhoja bhurvishtarat. We need not understand anything. We can understand that it is Narasimha coming out of the stamba. Before that, I have to mention about the previous verse. This is the first verse of 25th Dashaka. 24th Dashaka, legend has it that Bhattadri put his writing implement down, not able to proceed further. Many instances are there. I will just mention this because the previous Dashaka ends like this, where Hiranyakashipu is ready to use his fist to break open the pillar, because Prahlada has said Hari is there. Where is Hari? Kwasau Harihi Putra Astika. So he is ready to break open the pillar with his fist. At that time, Bhattadri says, put down his pen or his writing instrument, and he says, Ata Paschad Vishnu. After that, what happened? Nahi vaditum ishosmi. I am not able to write anything because I don't know what happened. I am not able to imagine. I don't know what happened after that. I've written till here. Atah paschad, hey Vishnu, he's literally talking. Na vaditum ishvasmi. I'm not able to understand only how. If I understand only, I can put it down into paper. No. Na vaditum ishvasmi sahasa kripatman vishwatman mridaya mam. Save me, oh my Lord. It is then he closed his mind because he was not able to compose further, because he did not understand how Bhagavan came out. So he closed his eyes, putting his pen down. That was when a huge thunderous sound was heard. And when he opened his eyes, right in front of him, shrine of Guru Aiyer was not there. Bhagavan Kutti Krishna was not there. It was the Sadas of Hiranyakashipu with a pillar, gem-studded pillar, Balaka Prahlada standing there, Hiranyakashipu ready. And then the sound was heard, and Bhagavan came in the Simha Avatara, in half man, half lion form. And then he was able to compose. Then came these words, Sthambe Ghattayato. That is the greatness with which Bhattadri has composed. So when we chant, we must chant with this bhakti and devotion. So how much Kripalu Asti Bhagavan Ityeva Karana, not only in this Dashaka, also when Kaliyanardanam was happening, that time also, Bhattadri could not compose, it seems, because a small boy, Krishna, around 5 to 6 years age, how he would have danced on top of a 100-hooded serpent, Kaliya, how we cannot imagine, no? So that time, chang, that chalanga, that Nupura Shabdam was heard in the sanctum sanctorum of Guruvayur. And then he started, we will see that meter also. So the Totaka meter, this is another meter. Earlier meter was Sharda. Change in meter, you see the mood changes. Athavari nighora taram paninam pratibarayitum kritadhir bhagavan drutamari tatira gani patarum vishamaruta shonita parmachayam. This is the meter. Idlende namakku dance oda and the form chang Krishna aadradhu we can completely visualize without any resorting to any anything else, because poet has used this kind of a meter which is used only in this Dashaka in order to, and of course a very special meter also we all know. Before that, Druta Vilambitam etadapi asti. As the name itself suggests, Drutam means a little fast and then later a little slow. This was again employed in Rukmini Swayamvara, where because Rukmini had sent a word through the Brahmana and there was very little time. Last minute ladies. She gave very little time for Krishna to come all the way from Dwaraka to Kundanipuram. So he rode the Ratha in that speed. So in order to reach he has to use that kind of meter, no? So he used that Druta Vilambita meter to, because of want of time, I'm just shifting. And then last, I'm taking up Kusuma Manjari meter, which is the epitome of Rasa Krida, 69th Dashakam. Kesha Pasha Dhruta Pinchika Vitati Sanchalan Makara Kundalam Parajala Vandamalika Lalita Mangaraga Ghana Saurabham Pita Chela Dhruta Kanchi Kanchita Mudanchadam Shumani no Puram Rasa Keli Paribhushitam Tavahi Rupamisha Kalayamahe. The Rasa dance. Is it any difficult to imagine that Rasa dance? Because with this flute and everything comes, I have taken it, but I don't know whether we have time. The flute, the dance steps of the ladies and their kankanas, everything in tandem, along with the tala, Venu Nadakrita Tana Dana Kalargana Raga Gati Yojana. So this is the beauty of employing. This is the reason why different meters have been employed by Bhattadri. And of course, another place, there are a lot of instances where there is a deviation from Bhagavata. First thing, he has not even mentioned about Parikshit here. Secondly, a lot of Jadabarada Charitam is not there. Hamsaguhya Stotras are not there. It is not a direct condensation in that per se. He has just picked up, it's an inspiration for him. That's it. And very specifically, if we have to tell, Radha was not mentioned as a name specifically. She was mentioned only as a gopi in Bhagavatam. Here, Bhattadri makes no bones about Radha being the dear of Krishna. He tells in not more than 3 places where he mentions Radha very clearly. When Akrura comes to take Krishna away, Gopikas are not able to find Krishna that night because he spent the night with Akrura. They are saying where he could be. Chandra Grihe Kimatu Chandra Bhaga Grihe. Is he in Chandra's house? Is he in Chandra Bhaga's house? Is he in Radha's house? They are now talking like that. And then later on also Radhika Virahajam. After coming to Mathura, Sridhamna is his friend, Krishna's friend. He tells to Krishna about the pain of separation from Radhika. Very clearly, Bhattadri has made no bones about it, and we must understand that Radha Krishna love is the love of the Jivatma towards the Paramatma. That is the Bhava. That is the Bhava here. And so it is very clearly, that is why we say Radhe Krishna, isn't it? So that he has given that true status to Radhika Mata. To conclude, very important are these 3 dialogues in our life. The dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, that is our Bhagavad Gita, that is serving as a guide for us. The dialogue between Shuka Muni and Parikshit, that is only our Bhagavatam. And the most important dialogue for us, why most important, I will tell you, Narayana and Bhattapada, that is our Narayaneeyam. It is a dialogue between the poet and the Lord. And the speciality, why it is very important for us specifically is, it is written in first person singular. Tava. He is talking to Bhagavan. He is talking to Bhagavan, so he is addressing. Bhavataha, Tava, Te, Mauliratnam Dadau Te. So what happens when we chant? It becomes our plea. Mama Gadaya. Take care of my problems. Bhaktim me dadatu. So when we chant the shloka which is composed by Bhattadri, it becomes our shloka, our prayer to that Bhagavan. We cannot, with our intellect, we cannot compose such poems. So whatever has been conveyed by Bhattadri, he has conveyed all the emotions, all the problems that we can associate with even today. This age has been already covered by Bhattadri. So when we chant, it becomes our prayer too. So it is this particular dialogue between Bhattadri and Narayana, Sriman Narayana is very special and important to us. We can utilize that, having been given this Manusha Janma, Durlabham Asti. We must use it. We have all got a first class ticket compared to all the other 86,000 lakh species of other organisms. We have got a Manusha Sharira. We should use it and straight to Tambalathula vechu kodutha mari Bhattadri blow alaha compose pannirukar. It is for us to use that and to elevate ourselves spiritually. Another unique feature of Narayaniyam is Anushtup Chandas is very, very conspicuous by its absence. Just now I was talking about the different meters. All the Sanskrit poems, 80% of them use Anushtup Chandas. Valmiki Ramayanam api, mostly. Bhagavad Gita, our Vishnu Sahasranamam, everything is in that 32 lettered Akshara Anushtup Chandas, which was very easy. Maybe that is one reason why Narayaniyam is not all that easy. Prauda Bhasha api asti. Meter also is not very constant. So we need to give a little more, time and shraddha to learn these shlokas. But it has a value. That is what I was trying to tell you all this while. And every single shloka or dashaka has been sanctified by none other than Bhagavan himself. அவர்கிட்ட ஓகே வாங்காம அடுத்த தசகத்துக்கே போல நாராயணிய பட்டதிரி. So definitely அந்த ஒரு முத்ரிதம் அஸ்தி, பகவதா முத்ரிதம் அஸ்தி, each and every shloka. What more do we need? What more do we need to chant these shlokas and avail of the opportunity given to us? We can hear, we can chant, we can think about Bhagavan. Not everybody is blessed. So we must make use of this opportunity. And another thing which travels throughout in Narayaniyam is bhakti. Of course, he has handled Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, everything without any, there is no doubt, but underlying current of bhakti is there throughout like a piece of thread. Like he's woven Narayaniyam with bhakti only. Just to showcase, everywhere it is there. Of course, in the third chapter itself, third dashakam itself, bhaktis, bhavad bhaktis tavat pramukha mudhira madhura twadguna rasat kimapyarudha ched akhila paritapa prashamani punas chante swante vimala paribodhodaya milat mahananda advaitam dishati kimatah prarthyamaparam. The beginning he says like this: your bhavad bhakti towards you is very easy. Sulabha api asti, madhura api asti, pramukha at the beginning itself, because even small children, the children who chanted today, it starts like that, no? Krishna Katha, Bahu Madhura asti. Even when we start, it is nothing arduous. Bhakti towards Krishna is not very difficult, because right from small childhood stage, it starts with nice story. So beginning itself is very nice. Guna, because your guna is like that, about talking about it is only Madhura. Kimapi arudha chet. If you go a little further, koncham the bhakti pidichundu adu vechu valagama konjam pidichundu vandutonna chet, if at all you come, and if irukanga akhila paritapa prashamani, tapangal akhila paritapa prashamani, it can subdue all the problems of the world for you. If at all you catch that bhakti and come up a little further, then punascha ante, at the end of your swante, vimala paribodhodayam, it can give you enlightenment about that bliss. Not just taking care of our day-to-day life problems, physical or mental, is very kshudra. Beyond that we need to go. So chante swante vimala paribodhodayamilat mahanandadvaitam dishati. It can confer upon you that eternal bliss, which is aikyam with Paramatma. So it can, and then again, 96th dashakathalayum, lastly he says, now I am no more, he has spoken enough about karma yoga, bhakti yoga and all that. Now I am no more interested. Nirvana karma marge khalu vishamatame tvatkathadau jagadam jata shraddhopi kama nai bhuvanapate naiva shaknomi hatum. We can completely relate to this. He is saying, I have now come away from karma marga. I am no longer interested in doing just karma for the sake of it, because it is not only very difficult, vishamatame, very difficult to practice karma marga, and tvat kathado, and already though I have got initiated into your katha and got shraddha in your this, I'm still not able to Kaman Ayi Bhuvanapate Naiva Shaknomi Hatu. I'm not able to give up on my desires. Oru pakkam theriyum. We know what will happen if we go behind these desires. Though I know on one side, we can relate to it. On one side, we listen to Bhagavan, Bhagavad Sravanam, we study all this. On the other side, are we able to come out from the Maya of our mind? Just like Mahodaya said, everything is in the mind. We are not able to give up on our desires of material life. So what to do? So Bhattadri is telling about himself that Bhuyaha. So what I'm going to do? Nischayena Tvayi Vihitatmana. I'm going to strengthen my devotion in you, doing all the karmas which are necessary. Literally, karma yogam, as Mahodaya said, you cannot separate bhakti from it unless you infuse bhakti into karma yoga, whichever yoga. Without bhakti, neither of them can stand. But bhakti can stand without karma yoga, jnana yoga, which has been proved, whether it is gopikas or a kubja or whoever it is has been proved. There is no caste, creed, religion, limitations to bhakti. So this is the beauty, and Bhattadri says, I am going to latch on to you and make my devotion to you even dhrida, so that later on when you come inside my heart, when you abide in me, I will be able to come over the pressures of this sensual pleasures or anything related to the sense of materialistic desires which are there in my, which I am not able to give up on my own. I've studied so much. I know that it is difficult to latch on to these desires and they can lead only to destruction, but still I am not able to come out of those desires. So what is the remedy? I have to latch on to you even more strongly so that later when you come and abide in me, I will be able to win over these desires. So this bhakti is there throughout, and Palashruti, usually after a Nutiratnam like this, total Palashruti is given at the end, but for this, every dashakam you have a Palashruti. For each and every dashakam, I am just pointing out a few. To attain the feet of Lord Hari, it is Kapilopadesham. Freedom from bondage of karma, Prahlada Charitam you can chant. To develop devotion, Ambarish Charitam. Like that, and of course, the 8th dashakam, 13th verse, we all know, because Mahapariva has advocated that Asmin Paratman Nanupadma Kalpe Tvamithamuthapita Padmayonihi Ananta Bhuma Mamarogarasim Nirundhivatalaya Vasaveshno. No introduction for that shloka. Everybody is already chanting. And Kishadipada Varnana for all getting Manjiram Manjunati, that particular shloka is specifically told for getting rid of mental afflictions. That is what is bothering us today, no? More than physical problems, it is the mental issues that we have. So we come to the final slide. After all this, after getting cured, after getting the Pratyaksha Darshanam of Bhagavan, the last shloka Bhattadri says, Ajñatva, I don't know about, I cannot comprehend your Mahatvam. That is the humility of Bhattadri. Ajñatva te Mahatvam Ajñatva. I don't know about your greatness. I cannot explain your greatness. Nigaditam, kimapi nigaditam. Vishwanatha kshametaha. Pardon me if I have done, missed out on something. Stotram cha etat sahasrottaram adhikataram. This stotram, which is counting to more than around 1000 shlokas, tat prasadaya bhuva. Take it as a prasadam. Take it as an offering and be pleased with it. Just like an offering. Chinna kolanda edo pushpam tanda nama ethikka maattom. Andha bhava irukku Bhattadri. Vedha Narayaneeyam. Narayana Vishayatvat, Narayana Rasitatvat. Both ways it is Narayaneeyam. The subject matter is Narayana, and person who is Rachitavan, Sahapi Narayana Bhattadri. Shruti Shrucha Janusha Stutyata Varnanena Spitam Leelavatarahi Idam Iha Kuru Ayu Arogya Kurutam Ayur Arogya Saukyam. For anybody who is listening to Narayaneeyam, who is chanting Narayaneeyam, please bestow on them long life. Long life without arogyam is of no use. So I need dridagatra shariram also, good health, not only ayu, good health, and good health is there, Ayu is there, Saukhyam nasti chet kim prayojanam. So Saukhyam api dadatu. That is that chitta shuddhi that he was talking, that mental satisfaction or that peace, Shanti. Ella irundadam we can have a peaceful life. Yeah. So Ayur Arogya Saukhyam Sarvesham Dadatu iti prarthayan viramami. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyah.
What a beautiful presentation, Mata. Really, the explanation was so crystal and clear. We also say Shloka from Narayaneeyam, but today we can visualize the pictures the way you had given the presentation. As you said, Keshadipada Varnanam, Krishna dancing on Kalinga, Shurpanaha, Ramayana. We can visualize it when you were saying. I think that is the power of Narayaneeyam, and our mind was completely focused on what you were saying. As you said, our mind was never wandering here and there. Such a beautiful explanation you had given. I think definitely this is a healing session, I can say. You said we are both physically and mentally nowadays, many are getting affected. And today, by hearing your speech, it is so healing for us. So, Dhanyavadaha Mata. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Dhanyavadaha. Avasarartham dhanyavadaha.
We can have a question answer session for 2 or 3 minutes. If anyone is willing to ask, please feel free to do so.
Namaste, Geetha ji. It was an excellent presentation. Actually, wonderful.
Thanks to all my gurus and all the Upanyasakas.
Yeah. So the mastery of language of Bhattatri, you have explained it in just 2-3 shloka itself. We could understand this mastery. When you say about the Ramayana shloka, where he didn't use the nasal letters because her nose was cut. So, and then all the examples, whatever you gave, it was so nice, and we are all enjoying your presentation. In fact, if there is more time, we would have loved to listen to some more of your explanations also. I think we should have for one more.
Itopi asti. In fact, I had after sending you the itopi asti.
In fact, we should have every that is from every episode one shloka if you explain of Narayaneeyam. I think that would be great, so that everybody can learn the inner meaning of what the
Yes. Everything is inner these days. No? Inner engineering. We need to do that. Because bahirmukham asti chet kimapi prayojanam nasti. Antarmukham karaniyam eva.
Exactly. So thank you so much.
Namaste.
Anybody else?
Any questions?
Actually, we are running out of time. So once we'll finish the program and then we can discuss. Okay. We can go for the vote of thanks.
Kumari Yurenuka Dhanyavad Gyapan Prastut Karenge. Yurenuka is a Sanskrit scholar in Srimad Andavar Arts and Science College. Swagatam Yurenuka.
धन्यवादः भगिनी। नमः सर्वेभ्यः। इदानीं वयं सर्वे कार्यक्रमस्य अन्तिमभागे स्मः। प्रथमम् अस्माकं कार्यक्रमस्य सञ्चालिकारूपेण कार्यं कुर्वती अस्ति मातङ्गी भगिन्याः कृते मम धन्यवादान् व्याहरामि। अनन्तरं प्रार्थना श्रोतुं बहु सम्यक् आसीत्, तदर्थं हेमलता भगिन्याः कृते मम धन्यवादान् प्रकटयामि। एवमेव सुभाषितं द्वारा उत्तम विषयाः उक्तवती अस्ति शारदाम्बाल् माता, मातरं कृते मम धन्यवादान् समर्पयामि। स्वागतभाषणं कृतवती अस्ति मम प्रियसखी सुदर्शना भगिनी, तस्यै मम धन्यवादान् व्याहरामि। अतीत सुन्दर्या रीत्या गोविन्दाष्टकं गीतवती अस्ति भगिनी कुमारी लैशा, तस्यै कृते मम धन्यवादान् प्रकटयामि। भगवद्गीता द्वारा उत्तम मार्गदर्शनं प्रदर्शितवान् अस्ति सुश्रुतु महोदयः, महोदयस्य कृते मम धन्यवादान् समर्पयामि। अद्यतन कार्यक्रमस्य मुख्य अतिथिः रूपेण अत्र आगत्य नुतिरत्नं नारायणीयं विषये मुख्य भाषणं दत्तवती अस्ति गीता महोदयायै मम धन्यवादान् प्रकटयामि। एवमेव संस्कृतवाणी कार्यक्रमार्थम् आगतवन्तः सर्वेभ्यः कृते मम हार्दिकधन्यवादान् व्याहरामि। पुनर्मिलामः। धन्यवादः।
धन्यवादपत्रं सुप्रस्थितं। धन्यवादः युरेनुका। शिवकुमार अय्यर शांति मंत्र प्रस्तुत करेंगे। स्वागत शिवकुमार अय्यर जी।
नमस्कारम। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः।
धन्यवादः शिवकुमार जी। अस्य कार्यक्रमस्य सफलतायाः निरंतर प्रयत्नार्थं विशाली जी, शिवकुमार जी और सुंदर कृष्ण जी इत्यस्मै धन्यवादं ददामि। सर्वेषां धन्यवादः। शुभरात्रि।